we may get caught up in the moment, the small minutia of the day, versus like having the perspective of the day you're born and the day you die, and the dash in the middle, that's the story of your life. But this moment right now is a micro blip in the dash of your life. So with all the uncertainty happening in the world, oftentimes, maybe not you, hopefully not you, some people got taken off kilter, meaning they lost a little of their mojo, they lost a little of their swagger. And the question is, how do you get it back? I would argue it's asking yourself the fundamental questions, the ones that Mike Vance gave me years ago when I said, what is the difference between you and Mother Teresa and Walt Disney and all these extraordinary people you've worked with in your life? And he said they've all answered 5 questions. Question number 1, what is your purpose? So with all this stuff happening in the world, if you recenter around what is your purpose, personally or professionally, or a combination of the two, and you just lock in on that, you're gonna be back on track. But then he asked me, number 2, what are your God-given talents? What do you do that has massive impact, that moves the needle, that you do every single day? When you do it, you feel like you're not even working. He said, you gotta do more of that. And when you do that, what's gonna happen to your business? Number 3, he would always say, what do you value, or what are your values? When we get off kilter, oftentimes we need to stop and say to ourselves, wait a minute, I value honesty, integrity, doing the right thing, hard work, success, the things that matter most to you, love, passion, relationships, whatever it may be. You've got to get back to what you value. When we get off kilter, we oftentimes forget those things. By getting back on track, we are on track. Then he asked me question number 4. Think about this one. He'd say, hey, it's 20 years from now. What's the dent you made in the universe? What was the impact you made? What's the story, the headline of what you accomplished in 20 years? And it's just that reminder that we may get caught up in the moment, the small minutia of the day, versus like having the perspective of the day you're born and the day you die, and the dash in the middle, that's the story of your life. But this moment right now is a micro blip in the dash of your life. Remember, what are you working towards over the next 20 years? You keep that perspective, and now this is just a moment in time. But then he asked me question number 5, and I've talked about it before on these shows. He would say to me, it's 20 years from today. Who are you being at that level? Who's that guy? Who's that gal? How do they show up in the world? How do they operate? How do they communicate? How do they connect with others? How do they move the needle in their business and in their lives? Who do I need to be if I was already there? I challenge you to answer those 5 questions. Yeah, they may be rough, especially the first one, what's my purpose? But I promise you, the moment you answer those questions, it won't matter what's happening in the world. It won't matter what's happening in the market, because you know who you are, what you stand for, and what you're committed to. And that's how you get back on track.